Yeah. Yeah, I thought that might have been the case, but
So I would say roost on Kuturi.
yeah, I'll.
Unless you've got a like, flying type in mind you'd want to save it for later.
Not really.
Hello, Panda. We've discovered something. The details are, well, I can't really say, but we want you to carry these drugs and this egg. Just come quickly. My assistant will be in the Pokemart. Don't worry about a thing. Everything will be fine.
Are they those magic blue drugs that make the Pokemon in Mr. Pokemon's pants evolve?
Yes, the rare Viagra stone.
I honestly can't really remember my experience with Gen 5. I mean, so far there's never been a Pokemon game that I haven't enjoyed. There's just been little bits and pieces that I thought, I'll go and heal first, because I'll forget to do it if I don't.
And while you're healing, did you want to drop something from our party to make room for this egg, or what? Or we could just not egg. To egg or not to egg?
I don't know, because, excuse me, Togetic, Togekiss is pretty solid, but it's going to take forever to get it.
Is Togekiss even in this game? I thought that was next gen.
No, Gen 4.
Okay.
Because Gen 5, all the Pokemon, they had no relation to any of the previous gens.
Okay, so Togekiss is here if we wanted.
Yeah.
Well, we'd need...
It would take too long to... First, we'd have to hatch the egg, then we'd have to make sure that it was happy to evolve into Togetic, and then it would take... take the drugs and put them in the egg.
Okay, so we'll skip the egg then.
Yeah, it's not really worth it, you know.
But no, it's not bad to have some late game boys to sit on. But I'm not opposed to skipping the egg.
Yeah, well, again, yeah, as Hasman just said, Togekiss is great, but Togepi and Togetic are rubbish.
I actually quite like Trubbish. I use that Pokemon.
Yeah, I can't say I really dislike it, if I'm honest, but
I mean, I know it gets a lot of crap because it's literally living garbage, but I don't know. I quite liked Mach too.
Hey Pontiff, how goes it? Yeah, but yeah, like I say, I don't
I think we should put Kuturi up front and teach her Roost, because we'll want to get some levels on her before Azalea Town if possible.
But yeah, like I say, you know what I would have preferred in Sun and Moon is if they'd have done, you know, instead of you have to go here and all the rest of it, and then they leave that marker on the map until you go there, and then that marker moves once you've done whatever it is you need to do there. I would have preferred if it was a case of again, just using the trainer school as an example. One of the characters makes reference to the trainer school, and then, you know, you can't move on until you do it, but the game doesn't explicitly tell you that. It's just a case of you do it.
But then again, have you never had that thing where you play a game, then don't pick it up for like a month and have no idea what you're meant to do?
Yes, but never with Pokemon.
Fair enough.
I guess we don't need foresight anymore as such. Is anyone else having problems with my audio being quiet? Because there's a little bit I can do about that, but not a lot. So if anyone else is having issues with that, me being quiet compared to everything else, then I will, again, I just turned up Distranda's audio from mine, so...
Because I was a quiet, echoey ghost.
Okay, how is that any better? And I'll...
Comparatively.
How is that? I'm hoping that's okay.
I mean, hang on, I'll just turn the volume up so I can hear it.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, apparently I was doing a little bit of research on my mic setup and things like that. There's two...
Yeah, sounds okay.
I won't say problems with. The one is because the microphone I'm using is a one that is specifically designed for live music applications, although it is used in the studio and elsewhere as well. I also taught Flash to Bellsprout.
Yeah, no reason why not to. Downwards, onwards to victory. You've got to be right up in the microphone for it to really pick up things clearly, because like that's just kind of how they're designed. Oh, is it designed for like miking guitars and things?
Mic and vocals specifically.
Okay.
It's the industry standard vocal mic for like say live applications. But the other thing that is a problem, yes, Ratta for days.
Ratta for days. What's your hurry?
The other issue that I have is that although the audio interface that I have, it has a mic preamp in it, so it actually works with everything. The gain that I can add to it isn't that high. So I got two choices there. When I get another mic, I can either get a different audio interface that has... I
mean, honestly, it sounds fine my end.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't sound. I mean, the only other thing I could do, but it's gonna. I'm a bit worried with.
Wait, what? Why won't he let us pass?
Sorry.
Why won't he let us pass?
Good question. I thought you just had to. Hey, what's up? What's the hurry? Some guy.
Oh, we have to pick up the egg. All right, let's go get the egg.
Well, in the meantime, just give me a second. One, two, am I back?
Panda's audio.
It's lagged on the stream, so it's not got that far yet.
And Panda will return.
1, 2.
Raise your hands and contribute to the Genki Dama so we can defeat Majin Buu.
I mean, I'm seeing my voice now coming through on the dam.
Am I back?
You're back! Yay!
Yay!
Just had to wait for the stream lag.
I have no idea what happened there. I honestly...
Another thing for you to put on a shirt. Computers are magic.
Yeah.
We did it.
Anyway, for those of you that... Oh god, I'm going to have to redo my whole...
It's fine.
Microphone rant. Anyway.
Let's just go onwards.
The reason... I'll just give you a sort of Cliff Notes version. The reason I want to replace my mic is the one I have at the moment is not on a shock mount, so any kind of movement I make on a desk or any hard surface that it's on is moving, the mic will pick it up. The one I'm looking at getting was be on a shock mount, so that will limit that. But I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to get a mic preamp to go into my audio interface so that I can turn the gain up, and then in theory I should be louder, apparently. So
right, now Panda is sole audio, really?
No, that is trolling.
But I'm gonna have to...
I have to check these things.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing I am doing is any donations or anything that I make off stream goes straight back into the stream. But again, it'll be a while that before I can get anything. A shock mount is basically it cradles a microphone, and it has like rubber bands on it, so that the microphone pretty much stays in one place, and it just basically absorbs any kind of movement of the unless it's extreme movement on the mic stand or on the desk or the floor or whatever, that's.
Do you like my kimono Panda? Do you like it? Do you like it like you like this egg?
It's very Christmassy. Christmas was last month. So yes, for those that aren't aware, my background is in music, so I'm kind of a stickler for sound. I always want it to try and be as good as it can be, perhaps even more so than your average streamer. Yeah, a shock mount can be attached to any kind of mic stand. It just screws on, so that's, yeah. But yeah, that's the idea I'm looking at. But like I say, when it might not even be until next year that I'll be able to do it, because there's other things I kind of need. Right, so egg is truly important. Professor Elm is actually twins. Neither of them do their job. It's incredibly difficult to understand.
Onwards.
To figure out who it is, and the drugs are in the egg are. Yeah, whatever.
Onwards.
Another game has decided not to work. Right.
Is that understood?
No.
Have you understood what I have saying to you?
No, because I wasn't listening.
Now I twirl majestically. Begone, thought.
Excuse me? Back the fuck up?
And now our mum's calling us.
Hello? Oh, hi Panda, how are you? I found a useful item while shopping, so I bought it with your money. Sorry. But I asked the delivery man to take it to you, so you should stop by the nearest Pokémon or department store and pick it up. I know it'll be useful. Didn't even
Onwards.
say goodbye. So much putzing about this stream.
Onwards.
Yeah, I mean, the ironic thing about me wanting to get... Oh, yeah. The Poké... Oh, screw it. We'll do it in Azalea.
No, we need to go down.
God.
Okay, we can go left and down. That's fine.
Too late. Yeah, the sad irony about me wanting to get vocal quality to be as crisp as possible is that I cannot stand my voice. Oh, come the fuck on!
Oh.
You have some good Pokemon there. It must be from the training you gave them around Violet City. The training at the gym must have been especially helpful. As a souvenir, take this. It increases the power of grass-type moves. Ah, the Miracle Seed, that's why. I was just gonna say, this is the kind of thing I hate that.
So, I guess we can put Miracle Seed in our Bellsprout at least.
Yeah.
Make Vine Whip a little bit better.
I mean, not so much that because he gives you an item, but, the whole sort of... you can't go here yet because you have to do this specific... you have to get the egg and it's sort of...
They've been doing it as early as Gen 1. It's a time-honored tradition. You couldn't leave Pewter City till you beat the gym.
Yeah. Again, I will give Gen 1 a pass because it was an entirely new concept, If you didn't know, especially as, if you played them when, like we did as kids, so you would have been, 9 or 10?
Mm.
It's an entirely new concept. You could argue that you could make the argument that you wouldn't necessarily know that you had to go to the gym, especially if you didn't watch the anime or couldn't watch the anime. Mm-hmm. So I'll give that a pass. The one that I did always find annoying is you can't go to Saffron City until you give me a drink. Like, fuck off with that. I cannot stand things like that. You know, it's just sort of...
Grata for days, growing so strong.
You know, just put a physical thing in my way. You know, put a boulder in my way, or a body of water that I don't have, and I don't have surf, or a tree and I don't have cut. That's fine. Don't put a human in front of me that, or you know, that says you can't go here because arbitrary bullshit. Or, you know, you can't move on until you do this thing. Like, well, okay, well, I'll go and do that thing then. And then you go and try to move on again. And it's, no, you have to get this thing now as well. Like, no, I don't want that thing. Especially, and I'll finish my rant in a minute, but hopefully some of you will find this either insightful or funny. But, you know, especially when it's something like in Gen 2, you could totally avoid the Togepi. I know they changed the story for Gen, you know, the remakes, but still, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the kimono girls are significantly more important now. So you kind of meeting them and interacting with them.
Yeah. Nyctophile, that is exactly it. The one in Alldale Town that won't let you move on because I'm sketching these footprints of a rare Pokemon. Oh no, it turns out it's just a Zigzagoon. That annoys the shit out of me. Just put a Pokemon there. You know, put a Snorlax there, that's fine.
Again, I feel like it's kind of a tradition at this point. Like, footprint sketching guy, he's just the new I've not had my coffee yet guy.
Oh yeah, it was actually, yeah, his own footprints, but yeah. You know, again, even the coffee guy, I can remember that being just as annoying to me as a kid, you know?
I mean, RPG tropes are RPG tropes. You can kind of take them as you want, but you're always going to have stuff like that, just like you're always going to have the bot thou must.
Yeah, I kind of don't. If you're gonna do that, don't have it be a person. That's all I'm saying. You know, like say either make it some kind of natural thing, or a boulder, or you know, if you're gonna have some kind of person there, have it be like say you know, have it be a bunch of people stood around a boulder and instead of, oh wait, you can't pass yet because we need to clear this rock slide. That's fine.
But you don't like when people in games are just being dicks to you, basically.
Yeah, you know, people in game are just stopping you from going wherever because of stupid reasons. And like I say, I will give the first iteration of whatever franchise a pass because they're introducing new concepts. You know, that you might not necessarily know about. That is fine. But you know, like I say, yeah, Sun and Moon. Yeah, Sun and Moon. As much as I enjoyed playing through Sun and Moon, and in Sun, I caught every Pokemon that was available in that game.
Cootery grows stronger.
Well, because if you remember, I was so enamored with the Pokemon themselves and the actual setting, wasn't it? That I was doing the SOS battles specifically to catch things so that I could send over to you so that you wouldn't, you know, because I knew you didn't have the same amount of time that I did to do these things. Zubat. Yeah, we'll go.
Roxo could shred it if we wanted to go that way.
Yeah, why not?
I think Hickey will probably grow in the cave a bit because I think I think there's rock types in there.
So, you know, like I say, the actual game experience I had with it, or the first game experience I had with it was great. But I have a tendency to buy both versions of the games when they come out. So when I went to play Moon, what has stopped me from playing it at each time, and I'm finding that Ultra Moon is giving me the same sort of thing, is the fact that it stops you from doing things for no apparent reason when, you know, it's not like the tourist blocking you is fine in that. What isn't fine to me is you have to go to the trainer school and beat all of these trainers before you can move on. And then before you, after you do that, you explore the first city for random reasons, and now you have to go to the Malasala shop. I think that's what it's called. And then you have to go to... No, just let me play the fucking game. I will go to these places anyway. You don't have to tell me to go them and forbid me from moving on until I do. You know?
Yeah, but again,
I'll
it's like if
I'll
you're
stop my
trying to
rant.
tell, if you're trying to tell a more kind of in-depth story,
Yes,
you need
but
to guide people more.
what story... what story point does going to the Malasala shop serve, aside from how likes Malasala?
It's supposed to make you bond with your comrades and kind of gauge, oh hell, you can't, you... Whether it works or not is another matter, but that's what it's shooting for. It's just trying to make you build some kind of connection with those people.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of the other example now that I found really irritating. Oh yeah, the one city on the first city on the second island where you can't go on the one route because you got a guy on a Stoutland that's searching for hidden treasures, and it's sort of, no, that's not a good reason. Just put a
say we might want to try and hypnosis this thing.
It's a wild Pokemon.
No, it's not.
Oh no. See, that me not paying attention. Okay.
I think we need to hypnosis and then kind of get like the pet going on it.
Missed anyway, so. And again, I'm only trying it one more time.
Yeah, I'm surprised it missed us twice in a row.
Yeah, cause sir, I'm probably one of the few people that doesn't hate how. I mean, I would much prefer to have a rival that's not a friendly rival. You know, in this.
Actually, maybe switch over to Hickey here, because I think this thing might have poison point, and water gun won't make contact with it.
You know, I much prefer Blue, who's just a total asshole to you the entire time.
And honestly, even if those interactions made you hate Hal, they still made you feel something about Hal.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They didn't for me. I'm totally indifferent to him. You know, I sort of... How can I put it? If he was the pro tag, it would work. You know, I kind of think that you're in the same vein as Red and Blue. Then you're the dick. Your character is the dick rival. You're the one that's always one step ahead. You're the one that's always, you know, like no matter what you do to How, he's always having fun. You know, and you just toss it up to, oh, well, this is experience. I'm still going to have fun on my journey anyway. We'll battle again next time. Which is kind of the role that you should be taking in Red and Blue. Obviously, that doesn't work because Gary is such... Blue is such a dick. But, you know, that's kind of how I gauge it. I'm also realizing that we're not reading any NPC dialogue, but nah.
But these are, aside from Faulkner, they were mostly minor trained. We read the command.
Yeah. Not only that, but I'm actually, you know, we're actually talking about stuff. You know. But yeah, you know, it kind of... you know, like say, I you know, to me, How was just there, kind of thing. I tolerated his presence, but I didn't like him. I didn't hate him. He was just there.
But again, is that even a bad thing when you also have Gladion?
Yeah, well, that just to me further proves the point that How was totally unnecessary.
You'd say you only need one rival then?
If it's a well-written rival, yes. And Gladion was much better written than How.
Because I feel like some of the...
In fact, Gladion was probably much better written than any of the rivals in the past probably since Gen 3, because May Brendan was Barry was just annoying. The group of rivals you had in Gen 6 were okay because they all had different goals, and it's kind of okay. It gives an idea of each trainer having different goals they wanna. That's fine, but again, none of them really jumped out at me. Yeah, that Kotsa hit the nail on the head. All it takes is a feeling that they're getting better and you don't want to lose to them. And I haven't had that since Silver. And Gladion. I did have that kind of with Gladion, but he wasn't in the game enough.
Yeah.
Is the thing, like I say, How was just there, Barry was just annoying, Sharon was almost there in Black and White. Bianca served an entirely different purpose. She wasn't a rival at all. She kind of served a purpose of showing that not every parent is supportive of their child going off on a Pokemon adventure. That's fine. And her arc being sort of, finding her way in the world. Where she wanted to be and how she was going to get there. So, for me, Bianca was never a rival in the first place. It's like, say, Sharon was probably the closest. Sharon and Gladion were probably the closest to being actual rivals. All of the others were just kind of there. Aside from Blue and Silver, who were actual rivals. I hope that makes sense, and I'm not just talking total shit.
I think that makes sense.
Because again, if I'm talking total shit...
So I'd say we should use this opportunity here to roost back to full health.
Yeah.
Just to keep us nice and topped off. It's not a problem now, but it prevents problems later.
Yeah. Again, Hasman, Black and White had that in that you have, Bianca, who's a friend, Sharon, who fulfills more of the rival role. But I find in I just find that in Gen 7 you have one character that's a friend, you have one character, what is her name? It's Lily. You have her that's a friend, you have Gladion that's more of a rival, How is just there. He's there to be kind of... I'm representing the new trainer that is, the new player that's never played these games before, and it's sort of... You don't need it, because...
Whoa, Bellsprout.
Yeah, this is trainer battle. Like say, he just seems unnecessary to me, kind of thing. Because if you wanted a character that sort of, I'm going to represent the brand new trainer who's just out to have a good time, and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm finding my way. That's what the player character is for. It's why I can understand why in the anime they added Dawn in Gen 4, and she's a lot more clueless, and she represents the newcomer to the franchise, but it makes sense because it's a show. In the game, you don't need that. Because either you're going to be a new player and you're going to fulfill that role, or you're going to be a veteran player and you're not going to care. At best case scenario, you're not going to care for that character. Worst case scenario, you're going to hate them. That's just where I stand on that. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about that now. But, I can't help it. Sometimes just sort of... the one problem I have with Generations...
Oh, that may have been a bad switch, actually. Goldines, I think, tend to use Peck.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, we need to get Rattata out there or Rattata will die.
Yeah, I'm predicting it's probably going to be I didn't switch the egg out.
probably
Which
shift
it
the
is, then.
Hickey because
Yeah, I guess.
neutral damage from Peck, Totodale's decently bulky, and it may use a water move, which Hickey will just resist.
Yeah, like I say, they as Costa said, the latest rivals present no threat or challenge really, and that's kind of my biggest problem with it. Yeah, and like I say, that's the thing with Gen 7 is the one thing I have an issue with is such a large issue. You know, that it kind of made, you know, it made it so that the first playthrough was fine. But each time I try to play through again, I get to a point where I think, okay, I've had enough for now, and then I don't pick it up for a while afterwards, so... And compared to other Pokemon games, I've not had that before, you know. I've been able to tolerate the hand-holding and the, you know, the rivals not being actual rivals, or not being written as rivals, but being written as, you know, they just say it for the sake of being there kind of thing. You know, all in all, I don't think Gen 7 are necessarily bad, but like I say, the major issue that there is with it is such a big one. And we're good. Yeah. Yeah, hard mode would be good. Or even if they just had kind of... I'd be happy with... When you start up the game, it asks you whether you want hints on, you know, what level of player you are.
That would be good.
Yeah, without giving you any information as to what it adds or takes out. So, for example, if you pick it, you know, it just has say, I'm new to this series. I played a couple. I'm, you know, got in at the ground floor or whatever. It doesn't give you any more information than that. If you pick you're a beginner, it gives you all the tutorials, you know, all the hand holding and things like that. If you pick I played a couple, it just explains the new features. If you pick that you've always, you know, you've always played, it basically just lets you get on with it. Alternatively...
Yeah, but when you've tied your story as, like your tutorials into your story, how do you make that work in a narrative?
Simple. Don't tie your tutorials to the story.
Like, you can do, but then you're going to break down there's a Poke Center if we just go down.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking that was elsewhere.